Bill Will here.
Alright, first things first, your body mounts are up here. They usually come really long depending on what you're mounting. And you got to cut it down. So I go hole by hole by hole.
You're going to want to lay the body flat next to the chassis. The magnet is on the other body post, and as you can see, it's sitting about a 1/4 inch above the body, which is perfect.
That's the gappage between the wheel well and the tire, and then the road in the bottom of the body so it's not dragging. The next step is lower your chassis. Let it sit as low as you can get it for this alignment. All I'm doing is raising the spring, which in turn drops the suspension, and the chassis will drop all the way down.
And just do that all the way around.
Now that the chassis is lowered, I can get a better feel on the alignment and lining this body up evenly between the wheel well and the tires on both sides. As far as lining it up front to back, you always want to go by the front, because on the back you may be running toe in. As you can see, it's not perfectly straight. It's kind of tilted in. Alright, I got a piece of cardboard here. What I'm wanting to do is just put some marks on the cardboard
right up next to the control arm.
Okay, next step, let's cut a little cross on your marks. Now, the reason for this,
it's so you can mount your chassis to the cardboard and it's stationary and doesn't move. But you also cut additional holes in front of those holes, and on the back end you want to cut the holes on the back of those holes. That way you can put a zip tie. Once you got your zip ties all poked in, you want to flip the cardboard around and poke them through those additional holes. And the whole purpose of this is so you can wrap the zip tie around your control arm and it locks in the chassis.
So I made my marks, right? And then on the front of the car, I cut more holes going towards the front. On the back of the car, from my mark, I cut holes on the back of the car. My control arms are going to sit right in here. And the whole reason is I don't want this to roll at all. When I go to put the body on and I'm trying to adjust it and I'm trying to glue it into place, I don't need this rolling back and forth or sliding. I want it perfectly stationary. Pull that baby nice and tight. Right. Alright, there's no sliding to it. Okay, you want to leave these kind of loose. That way it forms to the contour of the body. You always go back and tighten it up later.
So you got it lined up, right? Everything's good to go. You just draw a circle. Now this is the easiest way to do it. Okay, if your body isn't painted already.
So here's a body that's painted. You see my finger? When you hold it up to the light, you know exactly where to stick that magnet. And you just put a dab of glue right there, stick your magnet on.
The other thing to look out for is make sure your magnet is being glued to the body properly. Because one side pushes away, the other side sticks. This top side, you want that part stuck to the body. So let's say the body's already painted, you don't have any marks to line up the magnets or anything. This is how you do that.
Next thing I do is I get 4 pieces of tape, 2 or 3 inches long. The first one's going to go on the front. It doesn't have to be like super stuck to it. You just want it enough to hold it in place. So you put the body on there and you can kind of feel, it's just the very tips of my fingers. It's lined up good so it doesn't slide back and forth. And it kind of locks in the front. And you go to the back, get it good, and lock that down. Both sides are perfect. And now that I got it locked in, next you want to cut you a couple pieces of cardboard. Get your hot glue gun. So you just want to lightly put the cardboard up against it. And do your hot glue. Let that dry. You want to do the side. You're just barely touching it.
Do the other side. Alright, at this point, should be safe to pull the tape off. Drag the front part of the car against this cardboard. So I got the right front to back. And you keep your fingers on both sides. And then I'll just stick it down like that and make sure on both sides it's where I want it. So I got glue on there. Got a gap pretty good on both sides. Oh, the magnet's right there where it needs to be. Give that a minute to dry. I'm just going to fill in the glue. And I'll do the same thing again. Except this time, this magnet is going to lock it in place as soon as all I got to do is somewhat line it up. And this magnet will pull it right into place and line it up. And the glue will stick in the perfect spot. Do the next one. Same thing. Make sure you don't get any glue on the top. So I have to go back and cut it off with an X-Acto blade. So when you're doing the back, you want to have this already locked in place. Let those front magnets hit and lock it front to back. And then you just ease it in. Check both sides as you drop it. I don't know if you can see the magnet in the window. What I'm going to do is put another sticker on there to hide that magnet. Do the other side. Everything locks into place. The beauty is once you get that first magnet in, it locks in the front end. Not going to slide front to back or side to side. It locks it in. And you just put a drop, stick it, put more, to reinforce it. That's that. Cut my straps. There's the front. It's looking good. There's the back. There's that side on the front. That side on the back. It's perfect. I'll just readjust the shocks. Put a battery in it and we're good to go. Got the stickers on there, hid the hot glue that was in the windshield. And that's pretty much it. Time to drive it. Get some footage of that in the next video.